Hello, ladies, and welcome to today's Behind the Scenes. Today is a really special day. We have a really special guest that is going to be here any minute now, and me and Charlie are just getting ready. Lousje's getting ready in the background. I just wanted to talk to you quickly about our 8th day of Christmas today. We have all the pieces from Pure Venice on, as well as the Ike collection and the sweaters, the polka dotty sweaters, and these beautiful pom-pom sweaters. They are for the next 24 hours, 20% off. So you can check that out on our 12 Days of Christmas little link on our website. I hope you enjoy this segment of our special guest. And here we go. Hello, ladies, and welcome to today's Behind the Scenes. We have been anticipating this day for a long time and letting you know our special guest is here. We have Jenn from Cheekbone Beauty. Welcome, Jenn. We are so happy to have you here. If you don't already know of this beautiful makeup line, there's a lot behind the story, and we just wanted you all in our community to know about Jenn and her business.
A local entrepreneur woman who is making her mark, and we love to share stories like this, as you know. And here we are.
Thank you.
And you look gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. Well,
you
I'm
look
wearing.
beautiful. Well, she is wearing. She changed in one of her outfits, but no, you look beautiful. Like your skin, your makeup, everything. Yeah. So, where shall we start?
Where do you want to start? And I should ask, how much time do we have? Because the story is like really
It's a
long
story, like for sure.
But I'll try to speed it up.
Well, we value a lot of your behind your product,
for sure.
Sustainability, and
your mandate.
Yeah. So I think you started maybe 5 years ago, was it?
So to November 26th, so past 2 Saturdays ago, we just celebrated 6 years.
Oh, nice!
Wow.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
And we built this in a time when direct to consumer, so like online in the digital space, was I guess I feel like it was an easier way to start a business. I don't know if there's ever an easy way. You would both know that for sure.
Yeah.
There's definitely no easy path, but it gave us an opportunity to start building a community, start seeing if the world wanted our products to exist. So I had no experience in the beauty industry whatsoever. I'd actually been selling and was still selling seafood when I launched the brand.
Really?
Selling fish.
Oh my goodness.
So I worked for a seafood company in Toronto, and then prior to that, I worked for Cisco, which is a broadline food.
Yeah.
We see their trucks all over.
Yeah.
And then before that, I was in the hospitality industry. So worked at Inn on the 20, like Niagara on the Lake. We're in an area.
So you grew up in Niagara.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I grew up in St. Catharines, moved here when I was 4. My parents met in Thunder Bay, where I was born. My mom went to Lakehead, and my dad and her met at a fishing lodge that they both worked at in the summer. And so they moved to Toronto together when I was 2, and then they separated, and my mom ended up taking a job, believe it or not, working for Canada Steamship Lines. So in the boats and the canal. So that's how we ended up in St. Catharines.
Yeah.
Wow, cool.
Yeah.
But then grew up here, went to tons of different schools, but I loved St. Catharines. And I think about, we moved away. Once when I went to school, I started going to school, but I ended up dropping out. And then I came back and met my husband, and he is born and raised in St. Catharines. And we moved away for a little bit one time with him with one of his jobs, but we always ended up back in Niagara. And when I had this idea about launching this brand, I really loved where we lived because I feel like we're close to the city. We're close to the border. I feel like it's a great location.
It is a great location.
We've got the lakes, we've got the wineries. There's so much to offer.
So much to do.
Yeah.
And it's such a, I think it's such a pretty region. And I love that we get all the seasons.
Me too.
As cold or as messy as it can be.
The fall is gorgeous.
No, it's definitely such a beautiful area.
So definitely Niagara is home, and I'm grateful that we've had this region to sort of I think you think about launching a brand or a company, and it definitely takes a community. And so I feel like the Niagara community, so many people have been advocates for our brand and supporting it. So thank you for both having and being a part of that. And then I think what has made us a successful business is definitely the mission of our brand. I'm an Indigenous woman. I'm Ojibwe, so that's the tribe my community comes from. And you never see a lot of our people represented in a positive light.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, our communities are generally put in spaces where we're talking about the sad truths. It is true about our communities, and my story is no different. So I'm working for the seafood company. In 2014, I get sober. So I had battled alcoholism for many years. So it's September 26, 2014. So there's a reason why we launched the brand 2 years later, same day.
Yeah.
I get sober. And 2 months later, I'm like laying in bed, middle of the night, and I have this like dream. I don't remember a lot of dreams, but all I remember was native little girls with their brown little skin and rosy little cheeks, giggling and laughing, but they were covered in lip gloss.
Aww.
So I woke up and I'm like, grab my laptop, and it's crazy when I think about this now that I was like, okay, I'm gonna figure out how to make a lip gloss, and then I wanted to do something to support my Indigenous community. So at the time when this happened, you have to like rewind a bit. I was learning that my grandparents were residential school survivors.
Oh, you're kidding.
So they both went to those school systems. And then learned that, you know, and I know more about my grandmother's story because of her being open with my aunties that share her journey with me. But, you know, if she tried to speak Anishinaabemowin, which is the language of the Ojibwe people or the Anishinaabe people, she would be like physically punished. They were malnourished.
Oh,
there was
wow.
just so much trauma, and she lived through that. She was taken from our family's reservation at the age of 6.
I can't
So if you have
imagine.
kids, like, you
Oh,
just think of like a
It's
6-year-old,
unspeakable. Yeah.
and then put there till she was 16. So of course
Oh my gosh.
she
10
leaves.
years.
Yeah, and I always make sure I say this because I think people think boarding school, oh, you get to go home. No, they were there. It was a year round, and it was honestly designed to like take Indigenous people's culture and language away from them, right? And so we're gonna make you European, right? And that was the whole mission. And unfortunately, it caused so much trauma within our communities, and my family's no exception. Many First Nation families, Inuit families, Métis families have these same stories where addiction becomes a problem. So when I started to learn that generational trauma was part of the reason why I was battling, it gave me like pause and almost validation that like, okay, I now know why. How can I now be a part of like changing not only myself, but being a positive person to sort of speak for my community. And so that's where my journey in the business began, and just because I can tell you 10 years ago I could never imagine talking about my battle and struggle publicly. I would be so embarrassed and so ashamed. But as someone who's recovered, I feel like, and literally recovered to, I'm so grateful for this because I know many people in these spaces sometimes, especially when it comes to addictions, they always kind of have it as a big struggle in their life where, and I can tell you, I've lived the last 8 years in sobriety and just have had so much joy brought back to my life and not have the issue of where I have zero cravings for like, and I know a lot of addicts, and so I've been in groups and rooms where you hear the stories, and so I feel so grateful. But I truly believe that I created, I did a lot of work in the early days in reading on our brains and how addiction is neurology, and so I literally turned Cheekbone Beauty into my new addiction and passion, which is a lot more positive than the latter. And I'm so grateful for that, and grateful for an incredible community and family that supported this whole journey. But in the meantime, have built a business, that's now available in Sephora Canada. We're just about to launch in 600 JCPenney stores in the United States. So the last 6 years has been a real whirlwind.
I'm sure.
And learning about a whole industry while this is all happening too, right? Because I didn't know. I still say to our team, I'm like, I don't know anything about this space, but we're learning. And so I entered the industry very easy in the sense that you can have a manufacturer make anything for you in this world now, right? then I started to ask questions about packaging and raw ingredients.
Well, I was going to say, because
Yeah.
looking at your packaging, it's unbelievable.
It's amazing.
The thought you've put into everything.
I
Like, it really is
absolutely love
truly
it.
amazing.
And it's so unique,
Yeah.
you know? I absolutely love it.
And I think every detail is thought about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
we
do
did a
sit
lot
up
of
at
work.
night with your notepad, what, 3 in the morning, right? You're
Writing
like...
So then when you start asking questions and no one can give you answers and they're very secretive, I just learned
Yeah.
that I think a lot of industries are broken, and
Yeah.
if you don't ask questions and you
Yeah.
don't know, and I'm like, how can we actually provide our customers, our community with better products, and are so proud we just became a B Corp certified company this past
Yeah.
April, which was
Huge.
oh my goodness, thousands of hours of work for our team, but so proud that we now have this legal obligation to both people and the planet, and that's
Wow.
what becoming a B Corp means. And so
Is that what it means?
it
Okay.
literally, yeah, our lawyer was involved, their teams, and then they took over a year, almost a year and a half, to vet our supply chain, right?
Wow.
To make sure, like, and we scored 85% in our first time
Wow.
doing this. And so, granted, you can imagine it was 5 years of getting
I
to that
can't
place,
imagine.
right?
Yeah.
So trying just to do things better and provide better products and have answers for our customers when they're
True.
when they're coming to us,
Yeah.
like, where did you get this, and
Yeah.
where does this ingredient come from? And so, and it's not that I want to like address, there's so much place and room to grow still, but I think when you're a small business, you think sustainability feels impossible, but it was literally one day at a time, one step at
Yeah.
a time,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
it we're on a journey. It's
Yeah.
not like it's an
Yeah.
end point where you
No.
can say, oh, finally a
No,
sustainable
no,
business.
no.
It's a
effort
constant
flow.
journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like that with many businesses.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So tell me about your the people that work for you. Is it all women?
So no, we have one man. He's definitely outnumbered, but he's our controller, our operations person.
Okay.
And I'm actually so grateful for Corey because, you know, as a business person, the finance side of things
Yeah.
was not my strong suit. I hate spreadsheets.
Yeah.
Although I shouldn't say that. I hate making them and
Yeah.
trying to figure out how to do that. But when you actually, now I'm like passionate about seeing the numbers
yeah.
and how we
Yeah.
can make improvements.
Yes.
And
Sure.
if our forecast
Analyzing
changes
everything.
here,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
that's good, right?
It's the
But
fun. It's
I don't
fun.
like making them.
No.
Yeah.
But so he was from Toronto and ended up moving to St. Catharines a couple of years ago because his grandchildren are here, and he and his wife moved here, and it was truly a blessing because we were missing this crucial role in our company.
Yeah.
And grateful he came to work at us, probably for a fraction of what he is valued at in the real world.
Mhm.
But he really believed in the brand
He's
and our
passionate.
mission, and
Yeah.
so, you know, we've been able to pay him more and more a little bit every year,
Yeah.
and I know that
Oh, it's
I'm just so
exciting.
grateful to have
Yeah.
him. So he's our one man on the team, and then we also have there's 10 of us, but the rest are women.
Wow. Yeah.
Amazing.
It feels nice to provide, you know, to have
that is
provide
another
jobs
thing.
and have
Exactly.
great, like, I think what I've learned too is that some of the people that have come to work for us, I always thought in the early days, I'm like, well, what kind of company would now I'm in control.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can create the kind of
Exactly.
company that you
Exactly.
would like to work at
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
And just hearing some of the women talk about how safe they feel
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
To be at a place where they feel valued
Yeah.
and are really grateful for just, I think, the opportunity to grow with us, but then working for a company that truly values them and they feel that.
Yeah, they
and
feel
that's
that.
been an honor, and I didn't realize that part of it.
How important
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part. Yeah.
It's the same with our team here.
Yeah.
It's really important, and we just love who we have with us, and it's just
And they love to come to
they
work.
love to
and
come
it's
to work,
just
and
the
that's
energy,
so
right?
great.
You
They
feel
put so
it.
much more into it, and you're just you value each other so much. You're at the same, it's It's funny, Amanda works with you now, and she was our
Yes.
esthetician. So we used to go to her to get our pedicures, and she's with you now. And I miss her so much for that.
Aw.
But she loves working with you.
Yeah.
And she
She's
said
amazing.
she's
We love
Yeah,
her.
she-
yeah.
yeah.
We love having
It's,
her.
it's awesome. Yeah, no, there's nothing better than a good community, hey,
Yeah.
to build and
And like
support. And
we're all in this together.
we are,
right?
yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
So
it's
good.
so nice. I wanted to ask you a little bit about some of the products. I
Okay.
wanted to ask you about the names.
Yeah,
That's so
right.
cool.
Yeah. So
I
the-
love the name.
I love
Thank
it.
you.
It's really
Cheekbone.
catchy.
Yeah,
I love
yeah. And your names of your lip colors.
Yeah, so for the liquid lipsticks, the one you're wearing is called Ashley.
Yes.
And so the liquid lipsticks were always in our collection called the Warrior Collection.
Okay.
And we named them the Warrior Collection because these are named after Indigenous women in our communities that have done incredible
I
warrior-like
love that.
work.
Yeah.
So
Oh my
Ashley
God.
is named after
Everything's-
Ashley Cullingbull.
Oh.
She was the first Indigenous Miss Universe, Mrs. Universe.
Oh my goodness,
And
yes.
she's a model and an activist, and
Yeah.
she's just an incredible human being. So we named each one after a different Indigenous
my
I
woman.
God,
love
I
that.
love it.
Everything's so thought out. That's
Yeah.
what's so cool about
Yeah.
it. It's
And this
really
is
great.
paper,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is biodegradable
Yeah.
and compostable
Yeah.
with vegetable ink dyes. And then this is just clear plastic, so that can be recycled. But with us changing the packaging and removing the black plastic, we now know that all of our plastic components will get recycled because we're part of an organization called the Pact Collective. So they have boxes in stores like Winners or HomeSense,
Okay.
and you literally drop your cosmetics package in there, and that will be repurposed into a new plastic, which is called
Fantastic.
PCR, or post-consumer resin. And so we show on our site how you can remove that,
Yeah.
and that goes in right in back into the earth. Essentially, it'll
That's
amazing.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And your other packaging, can't you plant it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have if you get a note from us in your package when you order, it's on seed paper. So you can literally
This is
put
like-
it in soil, add water, and you're gonna grow
Can you imagine?
black-eyed Susans and
Can
snapdragons.
Can you
yeah.
believe it? It's unbelievable.
Oh my God,
This
that
brand
is
is
so
creative.
exciting.
Yeah.
It's amazing what you've done.
Thank
it's
you.
yeah. And
Yeah.
you're here in Niagara. It's amazing,
Well,
right?
When
I
you
mean-
learn, and you don't know when you think, if you're not in business, you generally
Yeah,
don't
I
know
know.
about Niagara businesses.
I
And so
No.
I'm always fascinated that there's
a
so
lot.
many incredible
Yes.
businesses
I know.
here.
There's
yeah.
a ton of creative people.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So what about your
unbelievable.
name? How did you get Cheekbone?
So Cheekbone, I was had the idea, remember, from that dream. It's like 9 months, and I still don't have a name for the business,
Name
but I
is
have all the
difficult.
ideas,
Yeah.
right? And I was listening to a podcast, like as we all love to do
Yeah.
nowadays, and Spanx.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
I'm like, everyone knows Spanx.
Yeah.
So Sarah Blakely, who founded that, another woman founder of a big company, I'm listening to this, and she was talking about her naming Spanx, and she said, people remember the K sound, right? So then I became obsessed with finding a word with a K in it, or the K sound.
Okay.
And then one day I'm just driving, because I was in sales, so I drove a lot. So you're
I
always
know.
thinking, which
Yeah.
is very dangerous, because sometimes I'm like, how did I get here?
It's
You're thinking so
It's
deeply.
true. It's
Um,
true.
The word cheekbone came to my mind, and I was like, oh my goodness, it has a K, cheekbone, K sound, strong K. And then I was like, Indigenous people are known for having high
Yeah,
cheekbones.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and we're Ojibwe, so we really have
You
high
really-
cheekbones.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Beautiful.
then I went home, and I'm like, and then I personally have always loved cheekbones. Like,
Yeah.
on every human. It's just
Yeah.
a facial feature that I've always
Yeah.
loved, especially now with like things like contouring
Well,
and
I was
blush.
gonna say you're highlighting
Like, I
it.
love
Yeah.
the
It's true.
cheekbone. And I got home and I looked up, like, just did like a little research on the marketing, and I guess people with higher cheekbones are perceived as more trustworthy. And so I was
Wow.
like, that's a great way to start a business. You need trust, and yeah, so
Yeah.
that's why
Amazing.
the name. And I was worried because I learned afterwards that real words are harder to trademark. But then we
Oh,
okay.
trademarked it with our logo. And so Canada first denied us that, and then the United States Patent and Trademark Office sent us a letter saying, yes, you own the word cheekbone with the logo. So then we sent that to Canada, and Canada's like, okay, fine. So
Oh,
then,
great.
So now it's our legal trademark.
Oh
That's
my
great.
God.
And I have to talk about the Dragon's Den because
Yeah.
it's a show
Yeah.
that I always absolutely loved watching as an
Yeah.
entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I had heard of your business, but and then now you're in Sephora, which is amazing, Sephora Canada.
Yes.
Like what an accomplishment that's like, honestly.
Yeah,
and now
it's crazy.
JCPenney, you're going into the States.
Yeah.
Like you are just flying up. I love it.
I feel like so much
amazing.
work.
It's so it is
so
it is
stressful.
I know.
I
It's
know.
so much work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
But it's
worth it.
validating.
Yeah.
and,
It's
amazing.
exciting.
Yeah.
Tell me one thing about the Dragon's Den. Was
Okay.
it super scary? Like it
Yes.
looks like?
It's absolutely
Sure.
terrifying.
Oh my god.
And then you're in there and they tape it like it's live. So you can't say, oh, I didn't mean to say that.
Yeah.
So you're in there for like an hour, right? But the audience only gets to see like a 7-minute clip. So they've
Of
edited
what
it
they
down.
want to pick.
And that's not exactly how it went down, right?
No,
So
Yeah.
you sign all this paperwork that says, yeah, you'll agree. And thankfully, the producer, and I was worried because I remember I'm not the numbers person. And so I knew I started
know.
this business and I'm like, oh, it's growing. I see this revenue.
Yeah.
But if they were to start out, and plus I was
Numbers?
working a full-time job, I was like, there's no way I'm going to know all the answers
No.
to all the numbers
No.
questions. I just knew. So they were gracious and kind, and the judges were the dragons were amazing,
Oh, good.
and I feel like it was such a growth experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'd never pitched my business before,
No.
but after that, I feel like I could have.
Yeah,
I could
you
then
could
talk
tackle
to
the world.
anyone about
Yeah,
it, right?
for sure.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
definitely a great way to practice and flex your courage
Can't
muscle.
imagine.
Yeah, for sure.
I
Yeah.
know it should be by the numbers because we started our business and she's fortunately the money and the numbers girl because I'm dyslexic with numbers. I can't remember anything.
Yeah,
So that would be very stressful.
it is. Yeah, it was.
But nice
That's
to
it.
hear that they're kind.
Yes.
And
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, what an experience.
What an experience. So
Another notch it in your belt. I love it. It's so exciting. So what else is on the horizon?
Oh my, yeah. We're just literally preparing for this launch right
Into
now.
the
So you
States.
can imagine going into the U.S. We know we want to go there. It's where we're going to scale the company,
for sure.
but it's 10 times the size of our country.
Yeah.
And so you can imagine the opportunity, even just
Exciting but scary.
very scary. So
Yeah.
we're putting out right now the largest PO we've ever dealt with as a company.
Yeah.
And trying to get that order ready and shipped out for
And
JCPenney.
remind us again where everything is made.
So made in Canada or Italy.
Yeah.
So we have
beautiful.
partners in Canada and Italy. We have our own lab right here in St. Catharines where our chemist makes
Amazing.
formulations.
So
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we work with our partners and they are the ones that do the larger scaling manufacturing. We can make small batches here and we do.
Yeah.
We were actually joking around the other day because we all found this skin cream at Sephora and I think it's like $400 but we're like with Lexi our chemist we're like could you make this for us? Let's order this. It's Barbara an amazing moisturizer, but we're like, it's $400 for 50 mils. I'm like, can we try to remake this here in our own lab?
Oh, that's
at
kind
least
of
just
fun.
for our team,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So having a chemist in, working with scientists regularly is pretty fascinating for someone who had no experience in this space. And we have also sustainability consultants that work with us regularly as well. So just like a team of scientists, we're working on really cool R&D projects right now. So in relationship with Henry of Pelham, we're taking their grape waste and extracting active ingredients that we'll put in future
From the
cosmetics
grape.
products.
Oh, that's so
From the
cool.
waste of the grapes, so
yeah.
the stems, the skins, and the seeds,
Yeah.
and extracting active ingredients like resveratrol, which is just
Yeah.
a great
Oh, wow.
active that's
Yeah.
going to go in some future products we're working on. And then at the same time, even taking that waste and using the seeds to make some kinds of lip scrubs in the future and all that.
Oh,
So
cool.
really this whole, when I think about our brand, what separates us from brands that exist,
Yeah.
because the world didn't need
Yeah.
another lipstick brand. It did not.
No.
But we are indigenous roots,
Yeah.
so our culture is notoriously. I've said it before that we're literally like the OGs of sustainability. And if you look at indigenous communities around the world, there's just this innate relationship with the earth, and I feel like
Nature,
we've incorporated that into our brand. So we're indigenous roots, sustainable by nature, and then we're bringing these bold colors to the
Yes.
clean cosmetics category.
Yeah.
And so that's what makes us different. But then this whole concept of adding in like a circular economy, meaning we're taking waste, we're going to repurpose it, and we're going to repackage.
And you're using
Yeah,
a
that's amazing.
local company
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
It's
all
on
your
a
local
Krabi.
ties.
So very
That's
exciting.
great. That's so exciting.
So do you still have time for R&R?
I wish. You know what? I actually am trying to do better. I'm sure you both know this. It's like you got to make the time to like
Yeah,
rest.
it's a balance.
It's so important.
Yeah, and you have
It's
2
hard.
children.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah. 20 and 17.
Okay.
So I feel like it's a different part of my life where I'm, it kind of gets lonely. So, and it's interesting
True.
that I didn't start this business till later in life. So I feel
Yeah.
like with women, like
Yeah.
we really excel, I think, as we're aging, and that's important to
Yeah.
recognize, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
it's never, there's an ages shouldn't limit us from
No.
wanting to start things and create things.
Absolutely not. No. All right. So, what we are excited to offer this week, we are giving free gift with purchase of $250 or more. We're going to gift you a liquid lipstick from Cheekbone. And this is actually my favorite color here, Ashley. Was it
Yeah.
Ashley, I think?
Yes.
That's what, yeah. It's
Yeah.
so beautiful. I've been wearing it for the last few days and I'm loving it.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to choose from 4 different colors online, and it'll pop up in your shopping cart. We just want to get this brand out there to our customers so you can try it. And please check out Jenn's website,
Yeah.
cheekbonebeauty.com. All right, we'll put that up there.
Thank you for
so
coming.
much for coming.
Thank you.
Good luck with everything.
Yeah, love your story. Really, really proud to have you here today.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I love how innovative and how you keep moving, that's so great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Cool.
Definitely a story to follow because there's greater things to come. I'm sure by the
Yes.
sounds of it, right?
Yeah.
You keep on expanding.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Have a lovely day,
Bye,
ladies. We'll
ladies.
see you next
Keep on
time.
smiling.